All right, so this is going to be my inside Shaq build. I personally believe insides this year, again, random rec, maybe not a good idea because the spacing is bad. But if you play with a dedicated team, insides are going to be dominant as hell. Okay, now we already know about the videos I dropped earlier about how powerful standing dunks are. We know how good 7'4" builds are, but 7-footers, my God. Now, the reason why 7-footers are so cracked, in my opinion, is because they got 70 speed. So you can get 91 strength, have 70 speed, okay, and be able to set the screens with gold brick wall, but still be able to run down the floor like a gazelle. It's like 7-footers are crazy. Now, what you want to see here is I went 7 feet, 246 pounds with a 7'6" wingspan. As we work our way over here to the build, let me play it out a little bit. Let me mute this. All right, cool. So there's a couple mistakes I made. Again, I was in there making tons and tons of builds. So as you can see here, my strength is only a 90, not a 91. So I do need to make the adjustment to get to a 91. And then I also messed up because my vert is a 77. It should be a 78. So I do want to point these out because obviously if you do make this build, you want to keep that in mind because the 78 vert's important because I'll give you the 1 foot pro contact dunk animations. Because as you can see, this 7-foot build gets an 89 driving dunk. Now, some of y'all are probably going to be like, well, why would you go 89 on a driving dunk? Because you can't dribble. Well, 7-footers gets a 52 ball handle, all right? Now, it's not like you're able to do SIGs or anything, but you're actually able to put the ball on the floor. So not trying to dribble up and that type of deal, but literally catch the ball from 6-7 feet, work from the triple threat, do a couple dribbles and contact dunk, right? It is not necessarily a need, it's a luxury. And if you want to put it somewhere else, by all means do that. But there is nothing wrong with being an inside and having high standing and driving dunk because you are an inside. So you're not shooting the ball. So you want to open up every option you can as far as finishing at the basket. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, I want to stress, if you run with randoms, probably not the best idea to get an inside because an inside usually is going to cause, everybody, how it is when you run random rec. Now, some random rec guys, the higher up you go, because it's skill-based matchmaking, people will sit in the corners and allow you to set screens at the top and roll to the basket, that type of deal. But for the most part, that's not going to happen. So again, I just want to stress that you might want to look at a build that can shoot, and I dropped that video later on. But the insides to me are really great, and that's the reason why you see a lot of insides in pro leagues, the pro-ams, because insides are just dominant in the fact of the job that they need to do. No one does it better than the inside, right? Set big body screens, roll to the basket, dunk, catch alley-oops, get rebounds, outlet passes. That's all you need from that. If you're someone that's all you want to do, insides are going to be great. So let's talk about the close shot. Obviously, I went 87 on the close shot. That will give you hook specialist, float game on gold, and you will be able to get paint patroller. You will also get driving layup on an 80. And what's really important about getting this driving layup on an 80 is that you will get physical finisher on silver. And again, this is just by having a build with a high driving dunk, high layup and strength. What I will say is that Giannis is hidden behind season pass or whatever because he's not an option off rip. So there is some other good driving layups, but Giannis last year, you only need an 80. So that's the anticipation that we're only going to use as an 80. So that's why I put it at, because I'm hoping eventually I will be able to get Giannis. Then as you're going to see here, the driving dunk of an 89, we just talked about that. Also, what's going to be big is I will get to standing dunk on the 85. This is where I'll use my first 5 cap breakers because it will give me the elite big man contact dunks, and it will also give me rise up on gold. And by default, this could be something I can use my max +2 on to get legend rise up, just being able to finish around the basket. Standing dunks are absolutely cracked. Driving dunks is absolutely cracked. Mike Wayne even said himself he wanted every single build to be OP. And again, it's cracked, all right? Just let you know that this is going to be an offensive game. Post control, I have that also because, again, I want to be able to catch that ball, be able to, back them down, drop step, do whatever I want to do. So again, you have the gold post up poet, and I have gold post powerhouse along with unpluckable on silver. So again, that is going to be really, really exciting to have that ability to do that. I will have a 74 on the free throw, obvious reasons, to be able to shoot and rec. 87 on the pass accuracy, okay? So the reason why I'm at 87 on the pass accuracy as I come, there we go, is that there's a couple things that's pretty cool here. You could use 5 cap breakers here if you wanted to. Now, the other candidates will be block and defensive rebound. But, you know, you can use your max +2 or +1 here also if you wanted to stay at 87. You can get your break starter up to Hall of Fame if you wanted to. But it really just comes down to you. I am not using my +5 here because really in the grand scheme of things, you only get like, starter 5 is really what most people are going to get to, right? I don't know if the next +5 cap breakers are going to be a veteran. Depending on how great the game is, and maybe I'll play long enough to get the vet 2 or whatever it was last year. But I think I only got the starter 4. So if the game is really, really fun, then, I might be able to get 10, 15 cap breakers. I don't know where I'm at, but this build is set up for me to get 15 cap breakers, right? My whole objective this year is not to make a lot of builds. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on builds this year. So I set this up to be able to put 5 cap breakers on standing dunk, block, and defensive rebound, right? So I'm not focusing on pass accuracy. The pass accuracy portion, maybe for if I'm playing a lot, every single season pass I get, I'll upgrade to try to get to 91. But again, that's where I'm kind of settled at. I'm not really trying to go that far. Now, as we move over here, did I go too far back? Yeah, let me go back here a little bit. This is big here. Interior defense is 77. So what you're going to see here is my paint patrollers on silver. I need and the big one here is that you need a 93 block. So I'm at 88 right now. By doing the +5, I'll be able to get my paint patroller now on gold. So that's important because again, defense is like, it's an offensive game. So I want to have the higher paint patroller. I did figure out that paint patroller on gold is going to be huge as far as stopping those standing dunks. And then other things are just kind of obvious. Like my perimeter defense is on a 62 because I have immovable enforcer on bronze. This is going to be big because I can use my max +2 here to get immovable enforcer on gold. Okay. So that is something that I am highly considering. Actually, not highly considering. I was thinking doing. So, excuse me. Having a movable enforcer on gold with my max +2 is going to be huge. I even got steel on 67 to get interceptor and glove on bronze. That's important to get the animation. We talk about that all the time. If you do not have the animation, you cannot. If you do not have the badge, you can't get the animation. All right. So the big thing here. This is why I was saying, like, man, I needed to get my vert right because my vert at a 78, what I wanted to do was use my season passes upgrade to get it to an 80 because by upgrading my block to and have my block at 88 and then getting to an 80, I would then be able to have high flyer denier on gold. So not to confuse you, I talked about using my cap breakers on standing dunk, on block, defensive rebound, then use my level 40 season 1, 2, and 3, get this to an 80 to get my high flyer denier on gold, okay? Now, obviously, the reason why I said you got to use your cap breakers here to get to a 96, because by going 96, you will be able to then have rebound chaser in the Hall of Fame. Right now, it's on silver. When I get to 92, it'll be on gold, and then when I get to 96, it'll be on Hall of Fame, okay? And I'm good with Hall of Fame, all right? And obviously, like I said, you will have 70 speed, which is crazy. 90 strength. I need to move my build around a little bit to get it 91 so I can get my brick wall. As you can see right here, you need a 91. I only have it on a 90. I was making a lot of builds. I wasn't paying attention, but that's important. You want to get gold brick wall, okay? And again, we talked about the vert. We know how important it is to get it to an 80. That 80 vert's gonna be huge because it's gonna allow you to get the high flying denier. But other than that, this build is pretty much set, man. Like, it's really crazy. Now let's talk about the takeovers as I kind of jumped ahead. So let's look at these takeovers. Again, what's really one thing you're going to realize here is that you have to have at least an 80 standing dunk and driving dunk to get most of these badges, right? So if you're trying to get, like, for me, when I was trying to work with the guard builds and I wanted to try to get one of those post fade builds for like a Michael Jordan, you have to have an 80 standing dunk to get that. So you'll see when I drop my Kobe build that I have an 80 standing dunk because I wanted to get that barbecue chicken stuff working in the post. But that's another video. But again, as you can see right here, attacking the rim, don't want this one because this is speed with ball. Like, we don't want that. Barbecue chicken, this is a good one, okay? Because with the +5, already at a 90, this will allow me to have a 95 standing dunk, 93 close shot, 93 post control with paint precision, which increases the success rate for dunking and finishing under the basket, okay? That's important. Obviously, you know, as you can come right here, Crasher. This is another one. Obviously, this is going to help with getting rebounds. And Crasher improves box out success to secure more rebounds, unleash effective and powerful screens that can catch unsuspecting defenders off guard. So this is also big with setting screens. You can knock people down on the ground with these screens with the Crasher. So Crasher is about rebounding and setting screens. So that is a good one also. We have Dime Igniter, obviously, with Dish Monster Takeover, significantly boosts a teammate's shooting ability with pinpoint passes. Again, upgrading the offensive defensive rebound. And as I scroll all the way down here, trying to find my next one that is available to me. This right here is going to be, again, anything with ball handle. Nope, don't want that, don't care. I'm not trying to upgrade my ball handle. Then we have Paint Surgeon. Now, Paint Surgeon increases success rate for dunking and finishing under the basket. Easier to beat defenders with post backdowns, moves, fakes, and shots. So this is basically like the one with the post fades and everything like that. And when I was saying like, yo, I need this with Kobe, my Kobe build, but I don't need it for this one because I don't want my mid-range shot upgraded, okay? I don't have mid-range, so I don't need this, right? Again, Dishmaster, it upgrades ball handle and speed of ball. I don't need that. So that's why you can see I just skipped right on through it. Doesn't make any sense to be working on my playmaking or my shooting when that is not my strength of this build. And then again, another one here is pass accuracy, 3-ball mid-range. Do not want that. So again, as you're going to see, I just kept on chugging along. Crasher. This is a good one because it improves my defensive rebound, interior defense. We already talked about Crasher. Helps out with box out success to secure rebounds and do some really good screens, right? And another second chance here is Crasher. Standing up close shot with offensive rebound. That same thing. This is a really solid one. So it's really going to come down to what you prefer and what you think is going to be the best for you in as far as your play style. But they did eliminate a lot of takeovers, and I feel like the ones they did leave behind were really good. Again, this is Splash Tower. Don't need that one. So I should be skipping around. Same thing here. That's 3-point shot. Don't need that one. All right. So then we got the right here, Xenos, another good one with Paint Surgeon, close shot, driving dunk, and standing dunk. And then, of course, I passed unit. So I think I go back up to unit, and this is offensive rebound, close shot, and standing dunk with Paint Surgeon. This is another good one also. And probably the best one because it's allow you to get standing up, my close shot, and all that upgraded. But that is all the takeovers. And then here you have it, yo. Like, this name is crazy. Rebound, rim, reaping, diming, post, bully with Shaquille O'Neal. Shades of Shaquille O'Neal at the top. Again, you look at the weaknesses. Not a pick and pop option. Duh, I can't shoot. Pull up mid-range isn't a weapon. Duh, I can't shoot. But look at the positives, man. Elite defensive rebound, strong physical presence, game-changing defensive presence, and supreme post footwork. Sounds like Shaq, baby. Like, really, really good here, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think about this build. What would you change differently? But other than that, it's your favorite old head, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon on the banger, man. You know, when I say back soon on the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.